Hello and thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to work on something I've never worked on before and something I have worked on before, but we have somebody here who brought it, my neighbor Tobias, and he's going to tell you a little bit about this thing. So first off, this is Tobias. You've probably seen him before. And this is a drill press with some type of hand drill. So what's the history on it?
So this was when we got it, it was my grandpa's, but before that, it was my great, because it was my mom's great grandpa. So it was my great grandpa's hand drill press.
So that kind of dates it. I think the drill press mechanism may be a little older than the drill. The drill looks 50s or 60s, and it's already been rewired, and even this cord is brittle. Hey, Rusty, I told you if he comes in here. And this is not really a very good cord to rewire one of these with. I'm gonna guess that this is a Montgomery Ward drill, but I really don't know. So,
I know it came from central Indiana, if that's helpful.
Indiana, okay. So the first thing we're gonna do, I guess, is we're gonna take the drill out and probably restore the drill. There's a couple pieces on here that are red. This is red, this is red. We could make this red as well, which will kind of dress it up a little bit. The rest of this is some type of, there seems to be an actual texture, some type of finish that they put on it. This will have to grind down and smooth it out. But it actually, the interesting thing about it is this whole mechanism, as simple as it is, it still works. It's missing a knob here. But yeah, so that's our mission.
There it is again.
Yeah, so you want to start on the drill first?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so it looks like you just take that off and then the drill should come out. So I'm curious if the drill even works.
That's what I would assume. I assume this would probably be rough. Hi, kitty. Oh, wow. It's got a lot of give to it, actually. It's easier than I thought it would be.
Does it come out? Yep.
Yeah, comes out just fine.
This cord is incredibly brittle.
Oh, I took it around the wrong way.
All right, we'll put that aside for now. Let's look at this
Oh,
thing.
it's got a metal trigger instead of
It
plastic.
does have a metal trigger. Okay, well that dates it as well. And it's Phillips though, so that makes me think 1960s. Can we see? Ah, I was right.
Awesome.
It says Ward Industries. So that's got to be a Montgomery Ward. Oh, can you hold that? Let me see if I can get the camera to zoom in on that logo. Fairbanks Ward. Oh, okay. I don't know. What's that say? The same thing? Yeah, that says this Fairbanks Ward. I assume that's Montgomery Ward's. All right,
That's just
so
the volts.
first thing we're going to do is we're going to rewire this thing. And to do that, you've done these before.
Yep.
So it looks like just two Phillips.
Just a standard Phillips, yeah.
I don't know. I guess these are holding everything in place in the back. So let's just take these two. Now, you've got tools?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, give me that. What that is, actually, I put it up here. We'll work on that.
These aren't all of them. I have a whole lot of my grandpa's tools, but I keep
All right,
them,
cool.
I keep them in his toolbox, and I try not to use them as much. All I got is, well, I have multiple, but the only one I have right now is this stub.
All right, well, that should do
But
it.
this should work. It's not stripped. That's nice.
Yeah, there's always one. When I do these, there always seems to be one that just doesn't want to come out. So it'd be nice, it looks like this is riveted on, but it would have been nice if that just came off. We could polish the drill up without it there, but we'll have to mask it off. Okay, so is one of these longer than the other, or are they different?
I think they're the same.
Yep, they're the same, okay.
And then I guess I gotta get this one off the back. Or there's two.
Just use it. Nope, don't take those off yet.
Don't take
I
those
think
off.
you just need a flathead to pry those open.
Oh yeah, it looks like
I
you're
think
right.
that'll come right off. Because I don't want to take the back off, because then we're into totally different territory. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, there's their repair. So we're probably looking at a repair your grandfather made many years ago. Interesting, he replaced the clip.
Yeah,
Now,
that sounds like it.
was this always a two-prong cord? So you know how we check for that? What you're going to essentially look for is another place where a wire would ground into the body. And I don't see it. And that pretty much is dating this thing to late 1950s or early 1960s.
Okay.
All right, so switch just pop out. Yep, just held in place by the frame. All right, let's take a break for a minute while we try to find a replacement power cord for this. This is going to be easy to wire. Two prongs are pretty easy. All right, Rusty. We got Rusty here. He's going to be in the way, and a mug on a rug. All right, so we got lucky. I'd rather this cord be red to match this, but this is about the right size, and we found a strain relief that will work. So let's clip this thing. You got cutters? Oh, you have wire strippers and everything. Okay. Alright, this is probably better for it. So we'll just start adding to your toolbox.
So where do I cut it?
Doesn't matter. Anywhere.
Should I cut it further up? Or
Yep. No, that's fine. We're just gonna toss this cable. This is, even though there's no breaks in this, it's hard to describe how brittle this thing is.
Very stiff cable.
So this cord was replaced a long time ago. It's even got a brand name on the cord.
Academy Automatic.
You can read that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm getting old.
Made in the USA.
All right, so since it's two prong, it doesn't really matter where these go. So your grandfather apparently just wrapped the wire around these two terminal ends. Yeah. First off, let's strip this cord. Let's see how many inches we need on this thing. Let's strip it. So let's put this trigger back in place. We don't need much at all. It's going to go through. Oh, we put a wire connector there. So we're gonna have to unfortunately cut this and strip that one too, because one of these has to go there. But it looks like that's enough. So, you know how to strip the outer cable, you remember that?
How I always would strip it is I just use like whenever I strip wires, I'll just use like a razor blade and then peel it. But I know that's not the politically correct way of
That's a
stripping
good question.
wire.
Is there a real correct way to do it? So, let's see. Let's see your wire stripper. Rusty. Okay, so what I would do, yours will work for this, is around here, use your largest setting, right? But you know when you pull and strip wires? Don't. What you want to do is just add a little pressure and just go around until you can see the first break. Once you see a little break in the insulation, outer insulation, stop. And then we should be able to just crack and pull. Rusty. You have to get down. Come on, Rusty. I know you're a lonely boy. All right, ready? Other way. Flip it.
Flip
that way.
Fucking duh. Oh my gosh.
Go to the. Is that the biggest one? Yeah, you were in the right one. I'm sorry. I don't usually watch this. Rusty. Just make sure you're kind of over this board so we're on camera. Oh, Rusty. Split yet?
Not quite. It's just kind of a scratch.
Oh.
What's that for, you little butt?
Let's try it. So try bending it, see if the outer insulation breaks.
There it goes.
Yeah.
There it goes. I think I could have pushed down harder, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't cut the wire.
Yeah, you don't want to cut the inside insulation on that. When do you think the last time this was used is?
Probably 15 some odd years ago. It was very tucked away in the back of all my grandpa's tools. He always loved watching the innovation of tools. So anytime a new thing would come out, like a new innovation he loved battery powered drills. He loved them.
Well, if you think about it, they're so much more convenient. For something like this, not so much.
His lawnmower was battery powered.
Oh,
his
geez.
leaf blower was battery. He loved.
He was an early adopter of that stuff.
He loved battery powered.
All right, so strip about 3/8 of an inch off each one of those ends. Show you. What you want to do is, when you get on there, and this is pretty small wire, hold the wire tight, go all the way around, leave your pliers closed, and pull it. And that should be, as long as you use the right one, you should be good to go. But yeah, you don't have to manually pull that insulation off.
Cut that out.
And crimp it. So on the crimps, remember there's a red, and that's red, so that's the one you want to use. Don't go too far on that, because we'll just have to trim it, like that. Nope, on the insulation itself.
On the insole. Oh my gosh.
Yep, right there. Pretty tight. Okay, now just pull on it, make sure it took. Yeah, okay. Now this one we don't have to crimp because we're gonna use a wire connector for that. So let's put this back. Hopefully there's enough room for this. If not, we're gonna have to take that red insulation off.
I don't even think I got
You
the
got it.
insulation.
All right, now's the fun part. Very carefully strip this, and it looks like it's on the absolute smallest setting on that. We want to be real careful because we don't have a lot of room on that yellow cable.
How much should I strip about that?
The same, about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. That's plenty. Yeah, you might want to hold that wire with pliers because you're going to have to pull on it pretty hard. Put that all the way down the wire and keep it out of the way of the soldering iron or else it'll shrink. And we'll wrap these two together. Now open the solder, the paste. And let's just, let me just put a little bit on this. And what'll happen is when the solder melts, it'll follow, essentially follow the path of the paste. So it won't stick on the gun, it'll go right onto that. So you don't have to make it 50 times solder. All right, you ready to do some solder?
I don't think I've ever soldered before.
Really? All right, well, I could show you, but I don't learn that way. Essentially, trigger it. So your light's on. Give it a minute to get really hot. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to tap this, that, and the wire at the same time. You can test it, take the solder, take it pretty, yeah, a little further back than that, because it's gonna eat it. It's gonna go through that stuff. So you can tap it on the gun to make sure the gun's hot enough. Wait till it melts a little bit. Try it again, should be hot enough now. Yeah, you gotta keep it triggered the whole time.
I pulled it all the way. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. As long as that light's on.
There's a sweet spot. If you pull it too much, it turns.
Oh, really?
on.
Oh, it's still not hot. Okay. I have to upgrade that. That's my 1990's Radio Shack.
Oh yeah, there it is, Radio Shack right there.
They do not exist anymore.
Dual heat soldering gun.
All right, that should be hot enough by now. Yeah, there you go.
Oh
Okay,
my
so now
gosh.
tap all three together and watch the solder run down that. Keep it on there for a second.
Oh, that's awesome.
A little more. Let it eat the solder. You can just run the solder right in. There you go. All right, that's it. It'll
That's
cool
cool.
off pretty quick.
Okay. Well, now I have soldered before. That is a new experience, and I enjoyed it.
All right, should be cool enough now. Yep. So we're gonna fold this way. Feel that shrink tubing? It's soft now. It got a little hot.
Oh yeah.
That's to be expected. Now next step, slide the shrink tubing on so that this is about midway on that. Yep.
Oh, the heat gun.
Yep.
I used that, not that heat gun, but I used a heat gun when I was
There you go.
melting the tubes when I built my computer.
Good. All right, turn the temperature down on that thing. I think you're totally done. And let it sit for a minute. What you're gonna do is you're gonna use this. Now this is not WD-40, even though it says that. It's Specialist Dry Lube, okay?
Okay.
And this is for cleaning out the motors. So you see all the dirt and debris. Actually, let's grab the camera and do it for a second. 'Cause this
Dirt.
thing's clearly seen some use.
Dirt and debris close up.
Yeah. So this thing's pretty dirty inside, and that's a real indication. Look how dirty it is in there. So we're going to use this WD-40's brand Specialist Dry Lube. Do not spray WD-40 in your motors. It's corrosive and it will put a greasy film on everything and it won't work as well. So all you're gonna do, let me get you some gloves. We're just gonna spray it in there and let it run out. Hold this thing up. Spray it in here, in there. First spray it in here,
Okay.
and then we're gonna spray it in there and just let it run into the pan. So don't be sparing, you really spray it. A little bit. All right, so these, you know what brushes are? So this, there's two of them. There's one there and there's one up here, which we can't see unless we take the whole casing apart. And I'm not really that fond of doing that. But so this is a magnet. In fact, I'll show you what it is because I have some. So these are what's called brushes. They aren't actual like brushes, but what they do is the power will go from your power cord into the brush, and then you've got your positive and negative, and it causes the motor to spin. But of course, because these are constantly up against this shaft, they can get warm. So what we're going to do is very carefully, I'm going to take this thing out. Look at the junk on that. And then we're going to see how this magnet is. Now watch how it comes out, because they go in a certain way. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. There we go. It's dirty.
Yeah, look at all that gunk.
Yeah, that's why we didn't. I don't think we washed this thing out enough. All right, we're not fully dried off yet, but what we're doing is we're reusing this wire clip. So all you want to do really is clip it towards the end of that. I'll hold it, just crush it down. Not too tight, but oh, hold on. Let me hold it with these, because it's going to want to twist.
Okay.
A little more. Yeah, perfect. All right. So I'm going to get an oil can. We got to put a little oil on the rear bearing there because we washed it all out.
Okay. That sucks.
So right where this shaft goes in, you can put just a little bit of oil. Not much. You don't want to put much, and you don't want to get it on that copper. That copper is dirty though. Here, spin the motor. Spin this end.
Okay.
There you go.
Water resistance.
Yep, that's it. That's it. I got it. Look at that.
Oh, that's black. That's gross.
All right. Put our wire switches in place. All right, so remember what we do with these screws? Since we're going to be polishing this drill. All right, so that means we're going to go to the wire brush. So you need your gloves and goggles. Probably should have cleaned that a little bit. Okay, so you see you've got your box here. So make sure that that's fitting around the tail end of that. And that way we don't pinch anything here. You good? How's it feel? Any pressure?
No, not really. It feels right.
Okay, so what I do is when I get to this, could be our string release joint, just check the trigger. Looks like we're good, so pop them in. Let's check. Trigger's still good, so now you can tighten them. So we've got two flathead screws in the front, which is interesting. I wonder if these were ever replaced or not. Let's get a flathead over there. this now to help us maybe clean the chuck up. All right, let's take these two flatheads out. I might want a longer one. Not even tight, huh?
No, not a bit. Ooh.
Good.
Ooh.
All right, so
Maybe not as much as
we're gonna
last.
take this apart. Wow, I guess it's just gonna fall apart. All right, let's dig that grease out. Let's scrape it out. Pick it up with the screwdrivers. I'll do that. I'm gonna clean it out of here. Doesn't matter. Look at this. This is like plastic.
Oh, that's gross.
It's really old grease. I don't think it's as old as the drill, though. I think your grandfather replaced this. All right, for replacement grease, we're going to use Super Lube. So all you're going to do is use a screwdriver and just scoop it back where you took it off. You can probably just scoop most of it right into that. All right, now I'm going to snap it back together. And sometimes this is really easy, and sometimes it's not.
That seems simple enough.
Is it possible that we're... Really, that's it? Something just doesn't feel right.
These are different screws. Or bolts,
Yeah, we're
I
together.
guess.
Okay, so wire brush those. Goggles, gloves, wire brush them real quick. Well, these are long. You can probably just use those gloves. Just don't hold them near the wire brush. Let's get this grease off them first, so they don't go flying. All right, I'll hold this together while you take care of that.
As long as I keep choked up on it.
So this, let me see how that's all. This is burnt grease, which I think is indicative that this drill was run pretty hot. Where's your other one?
I got it.
That doesn't feel right. Is this one? No, neither of these feels right. So now, we're good to go. This thing is really filthy.
Yep.
I hate to say it, I'm thinking about breaking out the acetone to just clean it so we can handle it. It's really bad.
Fine by me. That's brand new gloves, by the way. Brand new gloves.
Yeah, we're gonna go through a lot of them on this guy. All right, so I'm gonna give this a little bit more time to dry off. And let's look at the stand for it.
First thing I saw, or first thing I thought of when I saw the red was Craftsman. But I don't know if they...
Montgomery Ward could have used red,
Oh,
but
'cause-
you're right.
yeah,
the
'cause-
new Craftsman is red, but the old, well, you see this era was gray and red. That was their colors that they used. And then they went completely red. Yeah, you're right. In the 70s, everything was red. All right, so let's take this apart. We should probably refinish the base since that's red, and this bolt. And maybe if we make this red, I think this will look good red.
I think so too.
And then this stuff we'll have to clean. This will have to be polished. Feel how rough that is.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to kind of clean that up. All right.
Took better care of his stuff than he did himself.
All right. we're cleaned up. You're gonna put that tie wrap off, and there's your new last made in USA sockets. They don't make them in USA anymore. That's the last ones they had.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just flip it. Unfortunately, it's all Taiwan and China now. All right, well, let's pop that bottom nut off, because that's all that's holding that base to the shell.
That doesn't.
9/16, probably.
Probably the safest bet. Yep.
All right.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a 1/4 inch. Oh. All right, see if it comes out. You don't have to take the bolt all the way out, I don't think. Here. Twist the this thing. See if we can get this thing to come out. No. Oh, it's been in there so long. All right, we'll take this guy off, and let's take this screw out. We're only taking this out because we want to paint it. Okay. Leave that on there. No, I don't want to take that off just because I'm worried about that spring going somewhere.
There we go.
All right. Whew. All right, now you can just unlock the vise. I took these off a bureau someone was throwing away, and I think this will be a perfect fit for the knob on this thing. Let me show you. What you want to do is you want to just kind of like this. Let's leave this piece. Just do this.
Okay.
So you start, like for this, I'd start here and stop there.
I understand. I've never used primer. I only I just paint.
Well, the point of this is to get the paint to stick.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be as thick as the paint, but you do want to get it anywhere you see metal or red. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, roll those bolts over a little bit. That's good. This stuff dries very quick. We'll be able to paint literally in like 10 minutes. All right, I think we got it. Let's let that dry. And after you paint, you hold the can upside down. Cleans the nozzle out. Yeah, those are gonna have to dry a bit before we can roll them completely. All right, so what I do with these, so I'll show you. So the big piece, right? What you want to do is, like you were doing, move around it, go a little bit slower. Since you've already got the thin coat on, Now we can put a slightly heavier coat on, and this is how out of a spray can you're going to get the gloss. Since this is flat, we don't really have to worry about runs or anything like that. All right, get from the front, same thing. Get a little bit around that a little bit. I think we don't have enough there. Okay, now just from your angle, get the whole pad. Okay, any spots we missed?
Doesn't look like it.
All right, so we gotta let the bolts dry or stand them up like that, if they will stand. I'm getting paint all over my fingers. That guy's not gonna stand, I don't think. Maybe. Maybe because the paint's sticky. All right, let's see. All right, get the other side of the bolts. Don't hit these too close because you'll tip them over. The wind just, yeah, it's a thing about painting outside. As soon as you start, the wind picks up. Yeah, we got them? Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, let me see this. We got a spot right here we missed. Check this knob. We got it? Hard to tell. All right, well, we're making progress. Put the cap back on that guy. All right, let's let that dry and get to those other pieces. Hey everyone, just a brief interruption here. If you're enjoying this content and you'd like to support my channel, and especially if you like cats, I've written a series of chapter books for ages 8 and up, fully illustrated, called Flea Biscuit and Friends. The first book in the series is Flea Biscuit Finds a Home, followed by Flea Biscuit Summer Vacation, and finally, Flea Biscuit's Magic Christmas. They're available at all local booksellers as well as on Amazon.com. I will post a link in the video description. And hey, that's my pitch. Back to the video. Okay, so we're ready to test this. So hold on, don't plug it in. We want to bring the box out. So that's on, that's off. So you plug it in. And the first thing you do is just apply power. Nope, just with the switch. That's a good sign. Okay, shut it off. Now this has a trigger lock, so you can actually test this. Now put power on. All right,
Well, how about that?
so now turn power on and then see how it goes.
The one speed.
Yep.
I mean, we could have guessed because there wasn't anything
Does
to
it feel
indicate it.
powerful?
Got some kickback to it for sure.
Let it run for like 20 seconds. See if it picks up speed a little bit.
I think it's picking up speed. It feels like it.
All right. So now that we've got this thing running, we can work on cosmetics. So first thing we'll do is, you remember how we cleaned up the chuck on the other one using the wire brush?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring it over there. So gloves and goggles again. I'll get my goggles on as well. All right, plug this guy in. Do you want to just run it, or run it against the wire brush, or do you want to manually move it? I usually run them.
Yeah. All right.
get a close up of the chuck. Oh yeah, that cleaned up nice. That was very rusty. All right, so now the last step with this is really polishing it. So the trick is we got to protect this. We are masked off, and we're going to do the first step of polishing this thing. So just be careful with the cord. So we're going to do it in a box. And the reason for it is that you're going to use regular WD-40 because it lubricates these wire brushes, and it also is corrosive. We want to get a better brush than that. All right, so all we're going to do, just take that. So keep the cord outside. We're just going to put some WD-40, not inside here. And then just there with the wire brush. Is that on first speed or 2? Can I see the switch on that? There you go. All right, I'll hold it. I can hold it. Well, you use 2 hands on the drill. Don't usually have that luxury. Yeah, perfect. All right, I'm gonna wipe it down. I'm gonna do a little before or after because this only took a couple minutes. And we've got, we peeled all our tape off. So that's what we looked like, and now we're there. Yeah, that's probably not gonna go over. It's gonna go back on, is it? It's all full of WD-40 now.
I guess as long as it stays on that side.
So when you're doing it, we'll have to hold the tape in place. I'll hold the tape. Just be careful not to hit it because you don't want to damage our tag there. Oh, where's your WD-40? Okay, we are wire brushed, at least for the most part. From what we can tell, it's still so grimy, it's really hard to tell. We're gonna move over to polishing. So you wanna grab it? So what you wanna do, we'll do the first batch of polish for you. Well, you're gonna use that Eastwood stuff that works so well. So you wanna let this thing torque up first and get up to speed. So you want to get a good coat on. So as you polish this, like do this top first, you'll see how quickly the polish dissipates. So see how it changes color, the wheel changes color. You don't have to put much pressure on it at all, the polish will take care of it. Ah, look at that.
Look at that. Wow. Okay.
Already. This is good. Let's put it out of the way. Grab the board in that wheel. All right, we're all polished except for the final step. I'm gonna break in a brand new bottle of Chemical Guys light metal polish. And as I always say, never underestimate the power of a good hand polisher. Because as good as it looks now, nothing compared to what it's going to look like in 5 minutes. All right, so you can leave your gloves on. Well, probably not, because these are all black from polish. And we're just going to put some on the pad. See how much black comes out? It's crazy. And don't worry about getting it too shiny just yet. Just worry about polishing the whole thing with it. And I got another pad for you here, because you're going to go through at least that one. All right, this last step is basically the magic step. What we're going to do is, let me take this off at this point. You're just going to put it in the middle of the towel. And you're going to do this all over it, everywhere you can. This is the magic step, because you've still got polish on there. And this buffs it. I'm not willing to unveil it yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm telling you, it's going to be a surprise when it comes out of here. You'll be able to see too if you missed any spots. All right, ready to unveil it? Let's see what it looks like, see how polishing came out.
Oh, wow. It doesn't even look like it's the same drill.
Now it really looks science fiction, doesn't it? Wow.
Looks like a Buck Rogers Battlestar Galactica kind of
See
thing.
the handle a little bit back. All right, we do have one last thing to do from a polishing standpoint, and that's to kind of clean this up. So we're gonna just I use this Tech Wax. It's what I use on my truck. And we're just going to, and I would say you can wax the entire drill.
Oh.
Wax the badge. You can't use polish on those because it'll take the paint off, but you can use car wax. And this will put a little coat of wax on the drill, so it'll be a little bit shinier and also less prone to corrode, because it is Florida. Don't rub too hard. You don't know really what ink they used on that. But it does clean it up.
Yeah, looks much better. I don't have to strain my eyes to read what it says anymore.
All right, and then just put a coat of wax on the whole rest of the drill. It'll make it a little slipperier, but for this it doesn't really matter. It's going to be held tight. And this is not polish, this is wax. So after we put this all on, we got to let it sit for a few minutes and dry. This is a step that if they don't have badges, I don't usually do, but I should. All right, let's take a break for a few, let that dry, and put some stuff away. I suppose you can wax that too, because that needs to be kind of slippery. All right, we're gonna give it a test because we've been knocking it around and polishing it. So we're gonna do the same procedure. Just hit the power on that. Oh yeah, you can just do that, just lock it in.
It's running smoother too, for sure.
With all the grease, yeah. All right, and we found a chuck key that fits. It looks rather big, but that is a big 1/2 inch chuck on this thing. Let's get the rest of the parts. Looks like we did get one piece of grass. Oh, good. It was mostly dry.
Nicely.
All right. Oh, he's got sand all over. It's odd. All right, so who remembers how this went back together? All right, I know there was a top and bottom to this because I noticed that there was a little stamping on it right there. That's the bottom. Okay. Let's do it this way. Since we get 2 sets of hands here, hold that. Let's get this on there. Now let's get this in there. Great. All right, so one of the bolts goes in there with this handle, correct? Right there. So we've got the screw, went in there, I believe.
Yep. A little bit down.
All right, put that in there. I think this was the shorter bolt.
Well, it's pretty easy interchange.
Tighten that up a little bit. Let's see. That looks to be about right. Oh, did we forget? No. Yeah, we forgot these for the screw.
So we did.
All right, tighten this guy up some more. I think this holds it. Let's raise it up. Okay, we're fine. All right, now the drill. Went in like that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Like it was made for it. All right, and we got even got a knob for it. Is there another washer on the end of that? No?
Oh.
Yeah.
There was another one.
Yeah.
It was just hiding from me.
That's good. All right, now we can tighten this screw up a little bit more.
Well, look at that.
I forgot I'm tethered because we're charging.
No product placement.
All right.
Oh, no.
That looks awesome.
That looks amazing.
This was a good idea to make this red.
I agree.
It ties in with this red that runs all the way around in the base. Wow. I thought, man, that was great. That looks awesome. I didn't think we'd finish it in a day.
I was thinking it'd be a longer project than it was. I mean, it still was several hours. But
Yeah, I think
totally worth it.
it's at 6:15.
So about it's
Four
like
hours.
just 4 hours.
Wow. All right, I guess we're ready to wrap it up. That's such a neat little mechanism too. Now give this paint a few days.
Okay.
You know, we kind of dulled this a little bit by handling it. But overall, I'm really happy with it. Yeah, I was worried that this bracket was going to be really noticeable, that it's not as polished as everything else, but you can't tell. It looks fine.
Came together really nice. Especially, I think the biggest difference is the...
Yeah, and that was kind of an afterthought. It was like, yeah, we got it off. Well,
But that just looks so much better.
yeah, I think your mother's going to be shocked when she sees this thing.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, yeah, we're done. It was nothing. All right, that's it. I'd like to thank Tobias for bringing this thing by. I've never done one of these before. It really is an interesting mechanism how it all works. It's so simple, and yet it really does hold that drill perfectly straight. So you're going to use it?
If there's ever a need for it, absolutely. I think it would be awesome to use it.
Yeah, and it really is. It's ready to go back to work. We not only polished it all, but this thing's greased, it's rewired, it's oiled. We checked the brushes, they were fine. We cleaned out the motor, it clearly runs better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're so much better.
So anyway, if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me and it helps the channel grow. And hey, if you come across something like this and you want to restore it, we just did it. You can too. All you need to do is go out, get busy. Take care.